going. So here we have Mark Cerny, the lead architect of the PS4 and the PS5 and the PS5 Pro, sitting down with I don't know who. Trying to see if this is anybody from AMD. I don't know. I don't recognize this person. I know the CEO of AMD is a lady, but I don't see who this guy is. I don't. So he must he's some bigwig, but I don't know. So this is called Project Amethyst, which is basically the PlayStation 6. We got a PS5 Pro back here, or PS5, with the Ghost of Yote controller and the faceplates. We have a PS5 Pro here with Tifa and Aerith. And I think that's I don't know what AMD graphics cards look like. I'm not a PC guy. I'm not a PC gamer, so I'm not sure what that is. But like I said, Mark Cerny, the guy who did the architect for the PS4, PS5, PS5 Pro, and the guy from AMD, basically talking about the future of PlayStation, aka the PlayStation 6, which is scheduled to launch. Well, it's not official, but it pretty much is to launch in November of 2027. So it's about a 9-minute video. Let's jump into it.
Seriously cool gaming tech with Sony, and I couldn't think of a better person to walk us through it than my good friend Mark Cerny. Mark, thank you so much for coming out to Austin.
My pleasure.
I've asked Mark to join
Jack
me to pop open the box and give you a peek at some of the gaming
Senior Vice President and General Manager, Computing and Graphics Group, AMD.
breakthroughs we've been working on together behind the scenes.
Yes, we've been busy, that's for sure. So today it seemed like it might be fun to share a bit about the brand new technologies being developed, starting with our collaboration under Project Amethyst.
And like I've seen people in the industry talk about like interviewing Mark Cerny and talking to him, and they all said this dude is like a fucking next level brainiac genius. Like when you're in a room with him, he is the smartest dude in the room. So Mark Cerny is a freaking brilliant guy.
To create the machine learning technologies of the
Super
future.
smart.
As every gamer knows, it takes a complex set of system expertise to get your setup and games to deliver the highest possible experience. As we progress together, the future brings us to real-time physics, cinematic lighting, efficient asset streaming, and keeping everything in sync across a CPU and GPU with super low latency. Trying to brute force that with raw power alone just doesn't
Yeah, the
scale.
rumor is that it's going
That's
to
why
cost
we're combining
$500 too for the
traditional
PS6.
rasterization with neural acceleration. And machine learning isn't just a neat trick anymore. It's become a real tool for developers. Smarter pipelines, cleaner.
Allow machine learning to like upscale your visuals. So if you got a game running at like 1080p, I believe, like it'll be able to like take that and upscale to 4K, and go in and like find little things here and there and upscale it. So it's like it's a real useful tool for devs now.
Visuals,
it's AI, baby.
Gameplay, and more headroom to create the worlds we want to all get lost in. And that's what FSR is all about. FSR and PSR actually come from deep co-engineering between Sony and AMD. Co-engineering the neural networks that power both technologies. And going forward, more and more what you see on screen, the detail, the fidelity, the atmosphere, it will be touched or enhanced by ML. And
Machine
that means
learning.
we're not just hitting new technical benchmarks. We're getting closer to the vision of the artists and creators behind the games.
And the challenge comes in how we implement these systems. The neural networks found in technologies like FSR and PSSR are incredibly demanding on the GPU. They're both computationally expensive and require speedy access to large amounts of memory. The nature of the GPU fights us here. It's made up of a large number of compute units, and problems are therefore typically broken up into
I just want to preface this. I'm not a tech guy. Like in this shit, like when I'm watching this, seeing this kind of stuff, it's like fucking, like you're speaking a different language to me.
bite-sized pieces.
I like video games. I like playing video games. I'm not, like, I know a little bit about tech stuff, but some of this stuff is just way over my head.
To enable the individual compute units to tackle them. And there's a downside to that. Subdividing a problem can cause inefficiency, or even force us to give up and find a different approach.
Exactly. And that challenge got us thinking, and what came out of it is something we're calling neural arrays. Here's the idea. Instead of having a bunch of compute units all working on their own, we built a way for them to team up that to share data and process things together like a single focused
Seems like a good thing to do.
Now, we're not linking the entire GPU into one mega unit. That'll be a cable management nightmare. But we are connecting CUs with each shader engine in a smart, efficient way. And that changes the game for neural rendering. Bigger ML models, less overhead, more efficiency, and way more scalability as workloads grow.
Neural arrays will allow us to process a large chunk of the screen in one go.
Okay.
And the efficiencies that come from that are going to be a game changer as we begin to develop the next generation of upscaling and denoising
AKA the
technologies
PS6.
together.
With neural arrays, we're unlocking a whole new level of performance for ML.
So
not just faster, but more capable. That means
okay,
better
spacebar isn't working.
FSR.
Now it is. So them, Sony and Xbox both have deals inked with AMD to develop their next gen consoles. So a lot of this stuff might also be in the Xbox, like the upscaling. PSSR is a PlayStation exclusive thing, but Xbox might use FSR, we'll see.
Better ray regeneration.
But yeah, they're both working with
brand
AMD
new ML power features
for the next gen consoles.
We're just starting to imagine. All working in real time, right on the GPU. And we're just getting started. As we look ahead, you also see dedicated innovations that bring cinematic rendering to an entirely new level.
Another area we've been focusing on has been ray tracing. When I look at its broad usage on PlayStation 5 for reflections, shadows, and global illumination, it's difficult to believe that it's been just 5 years since ray tracing was introduced.
Yeah.
Definitely, Mark.
Yeah, it's not.
And
It's
now
fairly
path
it's new.
tracing becoming more central to real-time
I remember when they first were
graphics.
talking about ray tracing on the PS5. Everyone thought it was like impossible to do, but they did it.
The demands on GPU just continue to grow. That's why we've been pushing hard to go beyond the current approach to help developers bring even more realism and cinematic lighting into their games.
But the challenge is that the current approach has reached its limit. To perform ray tracing today, a shader program has to juggle two very different responsibilities. One is ray traversal, digging through complex data structures to locate where the millions of rays being cast hit the millions of triangles in the scene geometry. When there are intersections, that same shader program has to also be doing its usual work of shading the scene, using texture and lighting information and the like.
And we spent the past 2 years rethinking the entire path tracing pipeline from hardware to software. Early this year at Computex, we introduced neural radiance caching, a key part of FSR Redstone. Now, we're building on that with Radiance Cores, a new dedicated hardware block designed for unified light transport. It handles ray tracing and path tracing in real time, pushing line performance to the whole new level.
So less wear and tear on the
Together,
system.
these form a brand new rendering approach for AMD. Radiance Cores takes full control of ray transversal, one of the most compute-heavy parts of the process.
So it saves
and that frees
wear
up
and tear on the
CPU
CPU.
for
Yeah,
geometry and
that's good.
simulation, and lets the GPU
Takes the workload
focus on
off.
what it does best: shading and lighting. The result? A cleaner, faster, and more efficient pipeline built for the next generation of ray trace games.
There's a significant speed boost that comes from putting the traversal logic in hardware, and a further boost that comes from having that hardware operate independently from the shader cores. On top of those performance increases, there's other features in the works too, such as flexible and efficient data structures for the geometry being ray traced. Overall, I'm really looking forward to the time when we can get Radiance cores into the hands of game creators.
And we're excited to see how developers push ray tracing and path tracing even further with these tools. And here's the thing, whether it's ML or ray tracing, they both hit the same bottleneck. Current GPU memory bandwidth limitations hinder the seamless adoption of next-gen rendering techniques, requiring significantly more bandwidth to handle 4K plus textures and ray tracing denoising masks for smooth asset streaming. And that's where a final piece of news comes in. And yeah, it's a big one.
With current GPUs, including the ones in PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 5 Pro, we have something called DCC, or Delta Color Compression.
No idea what that means.
It's a strategy that reduces the memory bandwidth consumed when the GPU is reading or writing certain data, such as textures or render targets.
And what we built for future GPUs and SoCs take the idea of data compression much further. We call it universal compression, is a system that evaluates every piece of data headed to memory, not just textures, and compresses it whenever possible.
Damn.
Only the essential bytes are sent out, which dramatically reduces memory bandwidth usage.
Yeah.
That means the GPU can deliver more detail, higher frame rates, and greater efficiency.
Here too, I'm really looking forward to what
In other words, things get better.
Will bring, and to what degree the effective bandwidth of the GPU will exceed its paper spec. There's a multitude of benefits from this, including lower power consumption, higher fidelity assets, and perhaps most importantly, the synergies that universal
things run
compression
faster
has with
and less wear and tear on the
Radiance
system.
and Radiance cores as we work to deliver
That's what I
the
think I'm
best
getting from this.
possible experiences to gamers. Overall, it's of course still very early days for these technologies. They only exist in simulation right now, but the results are quite promising, and I'm really excited about bringing them to a future console in a few years.
The PS6.
We feel the same way, Mark, and we're so excited to bring these innovations to developers across every gaming platform. Because this isn't just about silicon, it's about empowering the creators and communities that make gaming what it is. And we're just getting started. As we continue building with close partners like Sony, everything we're doing is focused on one thing: pushing games forward for all of you. Gaming has always been at the heart of what we do, and it's never meant more than it does right now. We're here for the players, the creators, and the communities that make this industry matter. And everything we're building is for you. Thank you, Mark, so much for taking time to join me here today.
Thank you, Jack.
So, let me back up. Hey, how's it going? Full screen. So, yeah, all that's fancy talk for a more powerful system. Things will run faster and better, less wear and tear on the CPU and GPU. So, basically talking about the PS6, which, like I said, from all the leaks and the rumors, it's scheduled to launch. Like, it's a plan. Like, they're getting ready. Like, it's a go to launch in November 2077, holiday 2077. 2027, Jesus Christ, 2077. Holiday 2027. So, I mean, I wish it wouldn't. I wish the console at least put off a couple more years, maybe to like 28, 29, even 30, because this generation so far, fix my camera. This generation so far has been fucking terrible game-wise. We haven't really got any great games from Sony at all this generation. We barely got any exclusives, like any big games. Like, there's barely been nothing. This entire generation so far has probably been the worst generation, in my opinion. Like, I've been around. I was a little too young. I was born in '88, so I was a little too young for the PS1. I didn't really play it that much. My door just cracked open. I thought the cat was coming in. It's just the wind. So I was around for I was mainly got into gaming during the PS2 era. So I've had the PS2. I've had every console since, every major console that came out I've had. I've had the NES. I've had the Super Nintendo, the GameCube, PS2, Xbox, the original Xbox, the 360, PS3, the Wii U, PS4, the Xbox One, 1S, 1X. Like, I've had every major console since it came out. But this generation has been the worst game-wise. We barely got anything good so far. And, the jump from graphics since the PS2 have been, phenomenal. PS2 to PS3. For the PS3 to the PS4 was great. It was really good, but it wasn't anything phenomenon. And I feel like from the PS4 to the PS5, it's really not that big of a difference. That's no longer the main driving factor now for getting these new consoles, is the updated graphics. Games on the PS4 Pro ran at 4K 30. Got a lot of games today on the PS5 that run at 4K 30. So, and I've always been a day one console guy. I bought them day one since the PS2. This time around, I might actually just wait off a couple years, because I had to literally have the PS5 Pro sitting over there. So, and I enjoy the PS5 Pro. It's great. I love it. But if you're looking to get into the next, like the current generation now, and you're looking at what to get, I would just get a regular PS5. It's not worth getting the Pro, really, because you've seen some cool benefits from it, but nothing really spectacular right now. I haven't seen anything crazy. Now, I'm still waiting to get Ghost of Yotei. I haven't got it yet. I want to pick it up, play it, review it. I do and I don't, because I can't stand the lead actress because she's annoying and she's just, I can't stand her. So if I pick up the game and play it, I will be playing with the Japanese voice actress on and subtitles. That way I don't have to listen to her. But like I said, I think we're rushing into the next gen console. We still really haven't anything got really we haven't got like anything really pulled from the PS5 and PS5 Pro. Like, we haven't seen its true power on display yet. Most of the games we've had have been cross-gen. We've only had a few games that have been like PS5 exclusives. The ones I can like really honestly think of off the top of my head are the Dark Souls remake, Returnal, and I think Spider-Man 2. Like I said, we have Ghost of Yotei now, but I haven't played it yet. Like I said, I want to get it, but my backlog's crazy right now. Like, I'm still, like I said, I was sick for like 10 days. I had like a bad, like almost double ear infection, so I was out for like the past 10 days. Right now I'm playing through what the hell's it called? Chronos New Dawn. I want to get through that, do a review, and I want to get through Donkey Kong Bonanza and do a review, and then move on to Ghost of Yotei. So we'll see. But like I said, I think it's just, we're getting into this. I wish they wouldn't do it, because like I said, I still want them to pull out the like true power of the PS5 and PS5 Pro and see what a game looks like a nice, big, meaty AAA built from the ground up for the PS5 Pro and PS5. Hopefully Ghost of Yotei's that, but I'm not hearing too much great things about it. So we'll see. But this video is dragging on. So there we go. We got Cerny and Jackie Boy here talking about the new technology they're working up together for the PS6. So tell me what you guys think. Do you think the PS6 coming out in 2027 is good? That would be about 7 years, which is the traditional roadmap. Or you hope that it comes out later on, like maybe in 28, 29, 30. Let me know in the comments below, guys. I'll catch you next time. Bye.